Okay, considering we've done several projects, or at least two, that are sort of constructing somewhat of a beat or song or orchestration, however you want to look at it, I'm not going to go through those steps, but here's just another example of mine. Okay, I'll play just a moment of it. Bro. Okay, notice how I have my intro where it's like kind of calm. Now, these are just things that I like to do. I'm not saying that everybody has to do this. And then I have my section right here where it's full, where it's like all of the instruments part of this piece are included. And then I have like a breakdown where I drop things out. And then because we're making these short beats, I like fade outs for something like this because it creates this sort of natural ending. One thing I don't know if I showed you is that you can do your fade outs by pressing A and doing automation just like we do on GarageBand. And the other thing you can do is all of the tracks will have this little white square, and you can click and drag them, and that will also do a fade out. So that's what I did on these. The other thing I'd like to point out is if you look at all of my grid, like it's like a it's like a Lego like block. The patterns are very consistent. You don't have to have it like this, but I do strongly recommend that you stay on grid. Okay, because music, for the most part, is going to be constructed in patterns. Obviously, like it's an art form, so the rules are meant to be broken as well. But I stay within the bars, so you can see like they're all on these bold lines. And also, just to point this out, it's in 4/4. So everything is broken up into numbers of 4. Now, it's zoomed in a little bit. Zoomed out a little bit, but you could still count. You can go like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a line. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my other line. And I just stay within the realms of what the beat is designed to do. Okay. The other thing is, I'm just going to grab one of these. I'm going to copy it and paste it over here. Now, this is one thing I wanted to show is if you're having as I drag this, you'll notice that it'll kind of like pull it to the next line. Pull. Okay, you can kind of you see it a little bit. It's hard to explain, and then it like pulls to the line. Okay, meaning you have what's called your it's snap to grid is turned on, and it's this magnet right here. Okay, if I take that, let me zoom in actually and do it again. It might be easier to see. So I'm gonna bring it to the 59 and like just kind of like it'll pull it to it. Okay, so it like locks it on there because that's where it wants to be. But if I don't have this clicked, which is my snap to grid, and I turn it off, it just slides. Okay, and it will slide however you want. Now, this is useful if you're having like sound effect type things and you don't want it snapped onto a grid. Okay, I'm not doing that, so I like mine to be snapped on a grid. Okay, so that's just a little piece of advice I wanted to give. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to make this tutorial for is how are we going to turn this in? Well, Unlike the GarageBand projects, and I'm still kind of working out the bugs because I've never used BandLab Education like Google Classroom. I've always just kind of had it separate. So I kind of assumed that you'd be able to share your projects with me, and I'm not quite sure that that's the case. Um, so if you did the assignment through what I posted on BandLab, submit it to me and let's see what happens. But I'm not sure. But I guess I just won't view your projects this time, which is fine. But I will be listening. So to turn your project in, this is what you're going to do. We're only going to do Google Classroom. I'll be making many announcements about this. So no orange thing this week. So I'll just have to check on Google Classroom, meaning you're not going to have to flag me down and tell me. Maybe that'll be convenient for a lot of us. So to turn it in, you're going to, there's several ways to do it. This is the way that I do it. I go to BandLab and I go to Project and I go to Download. And then from here, I go to Mixdown As. Okay, I'll do it again. I go to BandLab, Project, Download, Mixdown As. Okay, and then it's going to ask you what you want to do with it. Okay, of these three, let's just do the MP3. Okay, that's the one that works pretty well um, with Google Classroom. Is just having it as an MP3. So let's just keep it consistent. And there it is. There's my song. So now, and then also you'll have a copy of whatever you made if you'd like to share it with your friends or family, or just have it for yourself as like a piece that you've made so that you have some proof of your effort in this class. Okay, so when you share it, it does automatically save. Now, I'll say this again. Some of you have already experienced it now. You got to save as often as you can because BandLab is web-based and it's not always the most reliable when it comes to that, okay? So if you lose things that are saved, there are some workarounds and I can help you, but not a lot, okay? So at times you might just have to take the hit, and I've taken the hits too. So anyways, now I'm done with BandLab, okay? And I'm not gonna go through it because I think all of us now know what to do. So how do you turn it in? Well, actually, let's see. I'll just kind of go through it. Okay. So then you go to, bro, I don't want to sign in. I'm only not signing in because I don't have. You guys don't know this because you don't have to do this. But when teachers sign in, we have to do this code on our phones. One sec. We have to do this code on our phones, I guess, so that, people don't freaking try to break into the Power School system, which I guess has happened before. So it's like an extra security. Okay, so, excuse me. So we'll go to your classwork and B construction 2, view instructions. Now mine looks different because I'm not a student, but for you, that's what you would do. You go to your Google Classroom, boom, classwork, B construction 2, view instructions, and then on your side right here, there'll be that option to add a file. The file that you'll be adding is your MP3. Where's mine? Right here. Okay, so then you can click it and drag it over when it's time, but I can't. Anyways, we'll have today and tomorrow. Next week, I'm thinking that we'll probably use this. Anyways, that's it.